day. I am Mia Bugnos together with my pair Giselle Bangalao. We are going to report some Philippine laws of persons with disabilities. First, BP 344 in 1983, the Accessibility, or Batas Pambansa number 344. It is an act to enhance the mobility of disabled person by requiring certain buildings, institutions, establishments, and public utilities to install facilities and other devices. This Republic Act is legislated to Section 1, means in order to promote the realization of the rights of disabled person to participate fully in the social life and the development of the societies which they live and the enjoyment of the opportunities available to other citizens, no license or permit for the construction, repair or renovation of public and private buildings for public use. Educational institutions such airports, sports and recreational center and complexes, shopping centers or establishment, public parking places, public utilities shall be granted or issued unless the owner or operator therefore shall install and incorporate in such building, nor institution or public utility, such as architectural facilities or structural feature as shall reasonably enhance the mobility of disabled person, such sidewalks, ramps, railings, and the like. Second is the Republic Act 7277 in 1992, the Magna Carta for Disabled Person. It is an act providing for the rehabilitation, self-development, and self-reliance of disabled person and their integration into the mainstream of society and for other purposes. Rights and privileges of disabled person includes equal opportunity for employment, access to quality education, national health program, auxiliary social services, telecommunication, accessibility or the barrier-free environment, and the political and civil rights. This Republic Act 7277 Magna Carta for persons with disability are very helpful because of this law, many disabled persons have the rights for their self. This law will help them to gain their self-esteem, gain respect to others, and to prove that others that even they have a condition like that they can do whatever others can. They can also have a right that others have. They will never think that they are different to others, and I believe that disabled person is not different people. Yes, in their condition, they really need this law, Magna Carta or the Republic Act 7277 in 1992. Next is the Republic Act number 9442 in 2007. It is an act providing for the rehabilitation and self-reliance of disabled person and their integration to the mainstream of society and other purposes, granting additional privileges and incentives and prohibition on verbal, non-verbal, ridicule, and vilification against person with disability. It is legislated in Section 4 that the objective of Republic Act number 9442 is to provide persons with disability to the opportunities to participate fully into the mainstream of society by granting them at least 20% discount all basic services. It is declared policy of Republic Act 7277 that persons with disability are part of the Philippine society and thus the state shall give full support to the improvement of their total well-being and their integration into the mainstream of society. They have the same right as other people to take their proper places in society. They should be able to live freely and as independently as possible. This must be concern of everyone to the family, community, and all government and non-government organizations. Rights of persons with disability must never be perceived as welfare services. Prohibition on verbal, non-verbal ridicule, and vilification against persons with disability shall always be observed at all times. Next is the NCDA Administration Order Number 001, Series of 2008. It is an act which a person with disability identification card which serves as the standard national identification card for PWDs. It is an ID. Shall be basis for the entitlement of the privileges provided from under the Magna Carta for persons with disability as amended. Series of 2008 issued by NCDA provide guidelines for the issuance of identification cards to persons with disabilities which shall be presented when availing of 20% discount in the purchase of medicines, fare for domestic air, sea and land travels including public railways and skyways, recreation and amusement centers including theaters, food change and restaurants, and other incentives and benefits provided for under Republic Act 9442. Currently, the NCDA AO number 001 requires all PWDs to go through the tedious process of renewing their PWD IDs every 3 years. This process is a challenge to PWDs with permanent disabilities or elderly PWDs, since many of them have issues with mobility or access to renewing offices. Furthermore, even with Batas Pambansang number 344 or the Accessibility Law as mandated by Republic Act number 7277 or the Magna Carta for person with disability, many government offices are still non-compliant. Next is the Republic Act 10070 in 2010, whereas the 14th Congress of the Philippines passed Republic Act 10070 entitled An Act Establishing an Institutional Mechanism to ensure the implementation of programs and services for persons with disabilities in every province, city, and municipality, amending Republic Act number 7277, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Disabled Person, as amended, and for other purposes, on April 6, 2010, establishing institutional mechanism to ensure the implementation of programs and services for persons with disabilities in every province, city, and municipality, amending Republic Act number 7277, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Disabled Persons, and amended for other purposes. The main objectives of the Republic Act 10070 is to ensure that policies, programs, and services for persons with disabilities are implemented at local level for them to fully participate in building an inclusive society for all. Whereas, as a result of the Constitution with persons with disabilities, government agencies, and other stakeholders, there is a clamor for implementing rules and regulation for Republic Act number 1007 to guide the province, cities, and municipalities in establishing the Person with Disability Affairs Office.
Republic Act 10366, 2013. Its constitutional and international legal mandates, the 15th Congress of the Philippines on July 23, 2012, passed into law Republic Act number 10366, entitled An Act Authorizing the Commission on Elections to establish precincts assigned to accessible polling places exclusively for persons with disabilities and senior citizens, and approved by President Benigno S. Aquino III on February 15, 2013. Proclamation number 688 as of 2013, President Benigno S. Aquino III, through Proclamation number 688, declared the period of 2013 to 2022 as the Philippine Decade of Make the Right Real for persons with disabilities or PWD, in support of the Third Asian and Pacific Decade of Persons with Disabilities, requires all the department agencies and instrumentalities of the national government and local government unit to implement plans, programs, and activities geared towards the development of persons with disabilities in accordance with the Asian Strategy. The Asian Strategy provides the Asian and Pacific region and the world with the first set of regionally agreed disability exclusive development goals. It comprises 10 goals, 27 targets, and 62 indicators, including ensuring disability inclusive, disaster risk reduction and management. Republic Act 10524, 2013. No person with disability shall be denied access to opportunities for suitable employment. A qualified employee with disability shall be subject to the same terms and conditions of employment and the same compensation, privileges, benefits, fringe benefits, incentives, or allowances as a qualified able-bodied person. This implementing rules and regulations, or IRR, is promulgating to prescribe the procedures and guidelines for the implementation of Republic Act number 10524 to facilitate compliance and achieve its objectives. Recognizing the rights of persons with disability to work on an equal basis with others and to participate fully into the mainstream of society. It aims of this IRR to provide persons with disability equal opportunity for employment and equal remuneration for the work of equal value. It means necessary and appropriate modification and adjustments, not imposing a disproportionate or undue burden where need in particular case to ensure persons with disability to enjoyment or exercise on an equal basis with others of all human rights and fundamental freedoms. Republic Act 10754, 2016. It is a declared policy of the state to give full support to the improvement of well-being and integration into mainstream society of persons with disability. It is the objective of Republic Act number 10754 to provide persons with disability the opportunity to participate fully into the mainstream of society by granting them at least 20% discount and exemption from the value-added tax on the sale of certain goods and services identified under Republic Act number 9442 for the exclusive use, enjoyment, or availment of persons with disability. This law was authored by the late Senate President Ed Agara, who is also responsible for the senior citizens discount. Such discount was expanded by the younger Agara by sponsoring RA 10754 in 2016, which granted 20% value-added tax exemption to PWDs. Republic Act 11228, 2019. The new law Republic Act number 11228 is entitled An Act Providing for the Mandatory PhilHealth Coverage for All Persons with Disability, amending Republic Act number 7277 as amended, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Persons with Disability, is an act providing for the rehabilitation, self-development, and self-reliance of disabled persons and their integration into the mainstream of society and for other purposes. Risa Hontiveros, the co-sponsor and co-author of the measure in the Senate, said that the new Republic Act number 11228 is an important reform towards greater social protection and health assistance for PWDs and allows us to better help them address their daily struggles and expenses.